Yo, how's it going guys? It's your boy MFY Gaming here, and in today's video I'm actually going to be doing my first video, and in this video I'm going to be doing a Pokemon Arceus Legends top 14 tips I can really give you. I've only played about 30 hours of the game, but I'd say I have a good understanding of the game. So here is my top 14 for you guys, and let's go. So the first one I got for you is to weaken Pokemon to increase the chance of capture, or the capture chance, or whatever you want to call it. So it's a pretty standard tip known in the Pokemon community, and I'm sure a lot of you will know this already, but if you want to increase your chances of catching a Pokemon in battle, simply lower their HP as much as you physically can. I would also recommend using paralysis or hypnosis type attacks to send the opponent to a sleep or in a paralyzed state. This just makes it also the chances higher and increase the odds of you capturing the Pokemon you're currently battling. Now it is worth noting though, not all Pokemon need to be done in battle. You can also catch them just by running up behind them and throwing Pokeballs, as you're sort of instructed in the game anyway. As you go around the map, you will notice there will be satchels appearing on your little PDA map thingy. These satchels are just tiny little things you can obtain whilst going around your map, and basically they are used as gifts and returned to their owners, and you will get points in return. Now at the minute I don't know too much about this because I don't have too many points myself. However, I am interested to see further down the line what this does, and maybe I'll do a video on it as well, who knows. But yeah, if you come around these little thingies anytime, just pick it up and it will do the rest for you. Also, a new thing introduced with Pokemon Arceus Legends is the ability to evolve whenever you would like. So you could be rocking around with whatever level you'd like, and basically have the ability to change them and evolve them at any point by basically just pressing X on them in your menu. Now this can be helpful for you if you're a player like me and are trying to catch all the Pokedex and completely complete everything. It's worthwhile to have a high leveled, low evolution Pokemon for those extra moves that, you might find tough or hard to do. So you don't necessarily have to evolve your Pokemon, you can just keep playing with whichever evolution you like and just capture another one if you don't want to evolve it. It's simple as that really. When you are out in the wild catching Pokemon, it's worthwhile to take some items or some berries or anything that you can craft or cook. Bring these items out with you when you go out catching alpha Pokemon, or simply just use it whenever. If there's a tough opponent who has good vision, such as Staravia or something like that, simply throw a berry or whatever item you want to use in a direction, and this will lure them in the other direction. However, this isn't always going to work. Some Pokemon have different reflexes to different sort of berries, so it's worth taking a few and trying and experimenting to get the nift of things. Also, try to avoid throwing them directly at the Pokemon, as this will also trigger them and usually initiate you in a battle. Or like these stupid Starlies, just simply run away for no reason. The next tip I have for you guys today is to try and sneak behind Pokemon and throw your Pokeball when you catch them out in the wild. Now if you didn't know already, when Pokemon are facing the other direction and you throw a Pokeball at them, it increases your chances of capturing them as you've caught them unaware. This is also the same for any sort of battle. If you throw your Pokemon when the wild Pokemon is not looking, and you hit them from behind, they will be startled and you will have the first attack. Again, this can be very helpful and very worthwhile, as sometimes this will actually increase your rates as a whole, and it's worth doing pretty much on any Pokemon you are trying to capture, especially those alphas. The next tip I have for you guys is if you want to increase your storage size and capacity when you're out in the wild and exploring, you will notice that collecting items will fill up your inventory space quite quickly if you haven't upgraded it already. Now in the Pokemon HQ, for the story and everything that you do, there's a guy who stands by the stairs. His name is Bagin, and basically you can pay to upgrade the storage slot by one each time. However, the price of this does go up as you buy more upgrades to your pouch. However, this is incredibly worthwhile, and I would recommend probably spending majority of your money on this as quickly as you can. Now when you're out in the wild just capturing Pokemon as you do, it's worthwhile to quite literally explore everything you can. This will be including throwing your Pokemon at trees to collect items, as well as also breaking those funny crystal glowy things that you see as you go around the map. Every time you do this, your Pokemon that you use will also gain XP, and this is also dependent on your level, so you can literally be gaining the same amount of XP every single time you use it on these items, as well as being able to get the items themselves that can be worth something or really good for crafting, such as apricots, which is really handy early game. Now camps are very useful, and you will notice this as you go in the game, that you will get more and more camps that you can fast travel to. The most important thing in my opinion of these camps is being able to progress time and rest your Pokemon very quickly. In fact, you do both this at quite literally the exact same time. Also, it's worth noting when you're out in the wild, if you are starting to get very low or all your Pokemon are knocked out and you need a quick escape, just try and escape from the Pokemon and fast travel back to a camp and simply sleep in your bed till whatever time, usually the morning, and your Pokemon will be good to go and ready to explore again. But yes, do not push these camps past you, as they are very helpful and they will generally come in very clutch when you need them the most. So another new thing introduced in Pokemon Arceus Legends is the ability to use max Agile Attacks or max Agile Attacks or max Strong Attacks. There we go, that's a hard one to get out. So these attacks are now brand new, and as you can imagine, the max Agile Attack basically means attack damage is lowered, however you have a chance to get another move later on in the battle. As an opposite, max Strong gives you more damage, however the chances of you getting another attack are quite slim, and generally the opponent will get a chance to attack you twice at some point down the line. But if you know these well and you understand how they work exactly, you can simply use this to just knock out Pokemon as you go, or play it tactically when capturing Pokemon out in the wild. Another thing to keep an eye out at these camps is the NPCs which trigger some sort of race mission or capture popping mission. You get a few of these throughout the game as you go. The very first one you appear in the Obsidian Fieldlands is at the camp in the middle of the map after you capture your Widear. I say capture, rather he joins and becomes your apprentice for the game. However, once you get the knack of this map, you are able to simply rinse and repeat it over and over and over again, pop 30 balloons and get some pretty nice rewards in return. Notable ones are Stardust. You have a chance to get some Stardust, which sells for a lot, as well as Great Balls. Another thing to look out for in the world is shaking trees and shaking rocks. When you see this, it's quite notable and quite obvious, and when you go to break it or bash it or whatever, you throw your Pokemon at it, a random chance for Pokemon popping out is gonna happen. And generally these can be quite unique Pokemon, or they can be just normal Geodudes. However, if you see this, it's worthwhile to do, as you can catch some rare Pokemon in these trees. Also, as you're out in the world, it's also nice to get the chance of capturing shinies, so it's probably advised to just try everything you can. You will also notice whilst exploring the world that when you are running or sprinting, you do not have some sort of stamina bar or any sort of indication when you are about to run out. However, it's generally about 7 or 8 seconds until you're about to run out, and this will procedurally grow back up and your stamina will increase again. However, this is worth noting, as if you are running away on foot from wild Pokemon in a battle, it's not the easiest to get away when you're against some flying type Pokemons. And finally, the last tip I can give you guys today is to check the type matchups. So you may even notice when you're in battle, when you use an attack, it will say whether it's effective, not effective, or super effective, or simply just no effect at all. This is worth noting, and you are instructed in the game and shown a little graph which depicts this for you. However, it goes pretty quickly and it's quite hard to get back to, so here is a picture on the screen now for you to look at. And basically it's good to become familiar with these type matchups, and also at the same time you can just use your brain and think, okay, if it's a water type Pokemon and I have electric, water and electric, you know what happens, basic things like that really. But this is also just handy general knowledge to know in the game, and it will come to your benefit at a later point for those Pokemon that you haven't already seen in your Pokedex. So there was my 14 tips on my sort of mini starter guide for you players who are kind of getting to grips with the game or just not too used to how it works. I hope this list hopefully helps a little bit and improves your journey in the world of Hisui. So, if you did enjoy my first video, I would recommend subscribing. If not, that is no problem. Leave a like if you would like to, or yeah, feel free to just let me know how this video was and any improvements I can make. But for now, have a great night guys, and I'll see you in a bit.